Great, so we're off. As I say, we want to share something that we're really excited about at NCP. This question of participation and mission-led business, what it might mean to really treat customers as citizens, not just consumers. We see a really big opportunity for mission-led business to really kind of push on to the next level by embracing this idea. Just very quickly to introduce ourselves, as I say, we are a new citizenship project. We are a strategy and innovation consultancy driven by a mission to build a more citizen-led and participatory economy, society, world, basically. Our core belief is all around that if you give people the right opportunity, people can and will shape the things that matter to them for the better. And I think really we sort of see more and more these days all around us, everywhere. We sense this, this kind of bubbling up underneath the surface, this kind of huge untapped desire of so many people for more agency and authorship, involvement, inclusion, control and voice and participation. Not just a hunger for all the world's problems to be fixed, but actually the hunger to roll up their sleeves and kind of fix them with their own hands, to really feel part of the action. We think this is really fast becoming the defining story of our time, of the 21st century. We call it the citizen shift. So the citizen shift is the shift away from a world where we treat each other transactionally, like consumers, to a world where we treat each other as citizens. So respecting our interdependence, but also coming together collectively to solve problems and build better alternatives. We work with all kinds of different organizations, so National Trust, Guardian, Co-op Group, Parkinson's UK, kind of local authorities, to help them make sense of this citizen shift and to develop the skills and strategies and cultures that they will need to work with people as citizens and not treat people as consumers. So that's us. What does this mean for you? What does this mean for mission-led business? What does it mean for B Corp? So B Corp Month is obviously this month. B Corp announced that this week would be Customer Week, where we think about customers. And B Corp invited all of us to consider this question. What does it mean to be a better steward to your customers? And our instinct was to flip this around and instead ask, what could it mean to be a better platform for your customers? And by this, what we mean is, what would it look like if more mission-led businesses found ways to work with and through their customers? So tapping into and cultivating their energy and their creativity and their sense of agency, rather than simply doing good things on their behalf. We think this would be very exciting. We think this would create really an entirely different foundation or starting point for building a customer relationship, including an ethical customer relationship. So moving from a place where maybe a consumer is thinking, what can this brand do for causes that I care about, to thinking, what can I do with this brand? What can I and this brand sort of do together around kind of shared causes that we both care about? This is quite challenging for the existing model of mission-led business or social enterprise or ethical companies, or however you want to frame it. It is moving away from how we normally think about these things. On the one hand, immense credit is absolutely due for how purpose-driven firms of all different kinds, all different sizes, are radically rethinking how to make products, how to source products, building circular value chains, doing very different, interesting things around employee voice and employee stake and ownership, thinking about marketing in a different way, engaging with stakeholders and communities and NGOs around social impact in really, really creative, innovative ways that are properly reinventing business, as B Corp says. Huge strides are being made in those areas, absolutely, towards building a more equitable and sustainable economy. Our sense is it's all happening behind the counter. Our fear is that, looking at this slide, it's all on the right-hand side. That's where all the exciting action is happening. On the left-hand slide with the customers, our fear is that the dominant way that we think about the customer is still fairly limited. It's sort of frozen in time. Like, yes, we recognize customers now care about more than just getting the cheapest price and the biggest volume. We recognize they have values and ethics. But still, the dominant story is still this kind of well-meaning but kind of time-pressed, price-sensitive consumer who wants to save the world, but in a very convenient, low-effort way. It's sort of a vestige of this kind of 20th century consumer mindset, we think. And we think it's a huge blind spot. It's a missed opportunity. We think we really must start to see customers as the creative citizens that they truly are. And just to be really clear, to hammer this point home, when we talk about citizens or engaging people as citizens or people acting as citizens, we're not simply talking about the fact that people care about the world or care about what's around them. It's not the classic citizenship of minimizing harm, mowing your lawn, paying your taxes, wearing your mask, doing the right thing. Rather, what we're talking about is this emerging or resurgent type of citizenship. Citizens who want to kind of reshape the world for the better with their own hands, and crave the opportunities for agency, belonging, taking part. So it's setting up the mutual aid groups, it's taking over your local pub, it's getting involved with Extinction Rebellion or what have you. So essentially, the people we're talking about here they're much more than just kind of consumers who are shopping for the best sustainability story or the most affordable, reasonable, ethical premium to kind of make themselves feel less guilty. So the challenge becomes here: how do we, as mission-led businesses, how do we create opportunities for customers to take part in our mission beyond just buying our products? As we say in the title, why stop at selling when there's so much more that we could achieve together? We believe very strongly that businesses, they can be platforms for agency. Businesses can be gathering places for collective action. And our past experience working with a very wide range of organizations suggests to us that when you go to your supporters and ask, how can we deliver more impact by harnessing your ideas and your skills and not just their money, you usually get more of both. You get more loyalty, you get more money and support, as well as getting creativity ideas that help you bring your mission to life and really push your impact further on. Right, so just to illustrate what we're talking about, I know it's probably helpful to have some examples to what this might mean. I'll just briefly give examples of three B Corps, as it's B Corp Month, who we think are making really good strides in this field, creating opportunities for their customers to contribute to their mission in the ways that go beyond just buying the product. The first one is Riverford, organic farmers, mostly known for their veg boxes. Riverford's mission is to provide you with the best of the season. So all about 100% organic produce, seasonal produce, and therefore low air miles, because you're not importing food in. Very ethically sourced, also an employee-owned company. So yes, when you buy a box from Riverford, by simply buying the box, yes, you are making a positive difference to the food system. It's brilliant. But Riverford don't stop there. They also organize workshops for customers to teach them how to grow their own vegetable patch at home, which would theoretically put them out of business if enough people did that. They organize cooking workshops for customers to kind of learn and understand a bit more about seasonal produce that might be actually quite unfamiliar, despite being sort of from this country. So how to cook it, how to make the most of it. So you're basically reducing the air miles again on imported food. And they also run the No Time to Waste campaign, an anti-food waste campaign, where they're trying to inspire their customers to become true waste warriors, as they say. They're tackling food waste through storage tips, recipes to get the most out of your veg box, veg hacks, as they call them as well. So again, these are all things that customers have to kind of actively engage with and do a little bit of the work themselves. But people love it. I'm a customer. I love it. I think it really provides even more sense of connection to the mission and more sense of connection to the brand. And ultimately, of course, it creates more impact. Second example is Patagonia, very, very, very famous, high-profile activist brand selling outdoor clothing, needs no introduction, I'm sure. Patagonia's new mission statement is we're in business to save our home planet. So very ambitious mission statement. Again, Patagonia's products are durable, repairable, ethically sourced, and the company itself has spent millions over the years, or over the decades, funding activism, supporting NGOs, lobbying politicians around really important environmental causes. So again, yes, by simply buying a Patagonia jacket, you're making a positive difference. But what's really interesting to us is how Patagonia is increasingly, it has this amazing network of activists and NGOs it's been supporting, but increasingly it's not just kind of funding them with the money that it's made from selling the jackets to customers. It's actually actively trying to connect its customers with much more kind of hands-on ways of getting involved with local environmental kind of campaigns and groups and causes, particularly through the Patagonia Action Works platform, very well worth checking out. Through this kind of online platform, they help their customers kind of link them to local causes, find events they can attend, petitions they can sign, help them volunteer their skills, get involved. So I mean, essentially, they're using their platform to priming and equipping their customers to actually become activists themselves. So much, it's kind of grown on from that model of simply saying, we'll take profit from you and then we'll distribute it to these social impacts. They're kind of squaring the circle, the triangle. And our final example is Brewdog, one of the most recent additions to the B Corp stable. As you can see, they're kind of promoting their sustainable credentials and targets here. We've had our eye on Brewdog for a very long time. Back when their mission was simply to make everyone love great craft beer as much as we do. They have had their detractors, and they don't always get everything right, of course. But we find them very inspirational in the sense that they've really been consistently excellent at building a very strong community of actively engaged customers who feel a real sense of ownership over the company and the brand. Partly because many of them do in fact have ownership. Brewdog was an early pioneer of equity crowdfunding. It's easy to forget, like, it wasn't actually a very big thing when they did it. And they now have this kind of base of what they call equity punks. So I think it's 175,000 shareholders, which is like comparable to the membership of like a political party in the UK. So like a large number of people fall into this. And that base has been a real kind of springboard for building a culture of participation around this mission of inspiring greater love of craft beer. A few of our favorite examples of how they've done this. One is, basically in order to kind of to raise the overall, I guess, refinement of the British palate when it comes to craft beer, they sponsored their equity punk member owners to basically study for industry standard qualifications in beer tasting. It's like full on, difficult and very involved industry programs. With this aim of kind of raising the level of knowledge and expertise across the whole craft beer world or whole craft beer movement. They also encourage and equip customers to brew their own beer, including, they make all their beer recipes completely open source, so anyone can just make a Brewdog beer. Brewdog will even sell you the kit to do it and all like the yeast and and hops and everything, which again, like Urford, would put them out of business if too many people started doing that. And they've also set up a cooperative of their kind of customers that gets together and brews kind of experimental beers, just tries out new recipes and so on. Some of which can go on to become new beer recipes for the main Brewdog brand. So maybe not quite saving the world in quite the way that Riverford or Patagonia is, but again, I mean, these are all really interesting ways, we think, to equip customers to participate in that wider movement of loving craft beer beyond just going to Tesco's and choosing to buy a Brewdog and not a Heineken or whatever. So right, just to close, I mean, I hope that these examples have kind of started to convince you, as they've convinced us, that there is this big space for a few enterprises, a few kind of mission-led, kind of forward-thinking mission-led businesses to really step up and grab this opportunity to put participation close to the heart of their business. We've already worked directly with one B Corp to explore and embed some of this thinking, and that gave us a lot of confidence that this works, that you can really get quite quickly to practical applications of this idea. So, final slide. For those mission-led businesses who want to kind of step up and take these ideas further, we've created a new 3-part training course. It will be 3 2-hour sessions starting 22nd of April, running through to May. It's 20 participants maximum. Please do join us on that course. We'd love to see you there. It will, I think, really help you to understand more about what this emergence of this new citizen era means for mission-led business in general and your mission-led business in particular. We will explore in more depth how brands are already taking steps to tap into customers' energy and creativity and desire to participate. And we can figure out together how embracing participation can really deepen and strengthen your customer relationships and potentially radically increase your impact, because it won't just be you doing it for your customers, they'll be doing it with you. Yeah, I think it'll be really exciting. We'll do all of this through very practical and creative exercises. It'll be fun using tools that we've kind of developed over the years at our consultancy to create people-centered participatory visions, participatory strategy maps, and tools to really kind of rapidly ideate and prototype and test and learn new participation opportunities. It's priced at a very reasonable £350 plus VAT. During B Corp Month, we're offering a 10% discount for B Corps, so please do book during B Corp Month. Yes, once again, 3 2-hour sessions starting 22nd of April, running through May, 20 participants max. You can send multiple participants per business, suitable for businesses of all sizes. We've mostly geared the content towards B2C enterprises, but if you're a B2B firm and you're interested, just get in touch and we'll have a conversation about that. That would be great. Yeah, you can book via that link. So yeah, it's going to be really fun and thought-provoking. So yeah, please don't miss it. Please do share this with your colleagues, and we look forward to seeing some of you in April.